Today I am cooking, eating, serving, and also ranking all the food in the Nancy Drew PC games. Food is a common motif in the games, from cooking mini-games to ordering meals. Yeah, I'm throwing around words like motif. This is an intellectual tier list. Because intellectuals are always lowering their glasses and going, First, let's lay down some rules that are as ground as the beef in a delicious cheeseburger. Yes, I am going to shoehorn in as many labored food puns as I can in this video. These rules are short and sweet. I've only got 2 of them. Firstly, it's that I'm only allowing food items with in-game models, so no menu items. Which means no hot diggity, all-you-can-eat fried chicken drumsticks, I'm afraid. But I am allowing drinks. Thematically appropriate Maxine's Diner mug. By the way, if you enjoy incredibly niche tier lists about the Nancy Drew PC games, I recently made a video ranking all the butts from the games, exclusively for my channel members. So join if you'd like to both watch that video and support me in my efforts. Okay, let's go through my tiers. Okay, at the top we have last meal. You know, when I'm on death row, probably for feeding a woman a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich, these are the foods I'm requesting to make up my last meal. Just down from last meal, there is girl detective dinner. See what I did there? These are foods that simply make me go, yum! Like those whales in Danger on Deception Island in that little bonking game, you know? Then my middle tier, as you can see, is nothing burgers. Pretty self-explanatory. These foods are serving nothing. They are neither notably good nor notably bad. This tier is the equivalent of a waiter bringing me a fancy silver platter on a tray and dramatically whisking off the lid to reveal an empty plate. Then my penultimate tier is black. This is the noise I make when I think about eating the foods in this tier. Black. You know? Black. Black. You know, that noise. And finally, my lowest tier is tossed cookies. You've probably heard this saying before, so you probably understand. These foods make me want to toss my cookies. Enough said. I've placed all the foods in chronological order by game, so we can have some order in this chaotic world. The chaotic world of tiermaker.com. By the way, forgive me if I've missed any. Let me know in the comments in a kind and polite way. I'm human, you know. I'm fallible to error. Stay tuned for Danger, bagels, and orange juice, which is put out for the actors to snack on during breaks in light of our love. And the bagels are also just there to be like, remember this game? This game is in New York City, remember that? Remember that? This is some little environmental storytelling to remind you that this game is set in New York City, capital city of the bagel. Anyway, usually I love bagels, but these bagels look anemic. Anemic bagels. They are unwell. They are a disgrace to the entirety of New York City, capital city of the bagel. And I don't like orange juice in any situation, so this is gonna be a black from me, dog. Hot dog, that is. To keep things on theme around here. Next up, also from Stay Tuned for Danger, we have the poisoned chocolates, which spell die, Rick. Now see, knowing they're poisoned, no thank you. But if I didn't know they were poisoned, you can bet I'd be don't mind if I doing and reaching my hand into that box like a human claw machine. So tossed cookies, because presumably that's what would happen if I ate these cookies. The final scene, floor pizza. No, I'm not eating pizza off the floor, thank you. Tossed cookies. I feel like I've got to say the name of all the tiers when I rank them out loud, again just for the people watching, while brushing their teeth, while ironing, etc., etc., maybe even while driving, and hopefully you just have it on like a podcast and are not actually watching it. Although you're missing some fabulous facial expressions from moi, like this one. I can't wait to see what that looks like when I edit this. Okay, then we have the Oaxacan cookies, the infamous Oaxacan cookies from Secret of the Scarlet Hand. I'm just gonna repeat what Nancy says in the game. No thank you. And this is without even considering the theory about what these cookies are made of, or filled with, which I'm not gonna get into here. I don't want to ruin my appetite this early on in my list. It's a black. Although, is it a black thinking about that theory? It might be a toss cookies thinking about that theory. Only lightly, just tapping that theory with my brain. Not full on poking it or prodding it, or God forbid gripping it with my brain. I'm just lightly tapping it with my brain. If that makes sense to you, it makes sense to me. My brain that taps things all the time and grips things. Does your brain have grippers? Are you as smart as me? Does your brain have grippers like I do? I bet it doesn't. Anyhow, moving on, we've got the Fun Day. The one and only Fun Day from the Haunted Carousel. This is the very first Nancy Drew game food that I ever made for myself, which I think says a lot. I think they say it best in the game when they describe it as sheer heaven. Life truly is sweet when you're eating the Haunted Carousel Fun Day. That is top tier last meal material. Truly an iconic food from the Nancy Drew games. Next we have the two other room service options from the Haunted Carousel's Captain's Quarters Hotel. First up, the pasta and veggie platter. This is, frankly, a pathetic excuse for a side salad. And for a pasta and veggie platter, there sure aren't a lot of visible veggies. I don't know where they get off calling this a pasta and veggie platter. And is it just me, or is orange juice one of the most horrendous things to order alongside a pasta dish? That's black. Next, we have the burger platter, also from Haunted Carousel. And can't forget the moo juice. Again, with the pathetic excuse for a side salad. Actually, it looks like the last person to order room service just didn't touch their side salad, so they've served it again to the next customer, i.e. Nancy. But for the burger itself, it looks kinda raw, and the fries are pale and soggy. And why would you order this, or the pasta platter, when the Fun Day is right there? This is also a black. Speaking of food, here's ham sandwich. You'd be my last meal. No, I take that back. I don't mean it that way, buddy. I don't mean it that way. Aw, you gonna chill out here? No? Yes? Maybe? What's the play? You're my top tier, Mr. Sandwich. Okay, back to the tier list. Next up, we have clam chowder from Danger on Deception Island, another iconic one. I would still rank this as Girl Detective dinner, even though last time I had clam chowder I got food poisoning after. But that's why it's not last meal worthy for all the clam chowder stands in the comments. And at that price, you can't go wrong. Next we have the blueberry muffin, also from Danger on Deception Island. There are very few foods which make me nauseous just thinking about them, and for some reason, cooked blueberries are one of them. I've never liked blueberry muffins. They make me feel ill, so they're going in tossed cookies. And last up from Danger on Deception Island, we have make your own sandwich, which could really go either way. This could be last meal worthy, or it could be literal tossed cookies. It's a nothing burger, I suppose, because it's very much in between good or bad, depending on what you put on it. Next up, we have the Secret of Shadow Ranch cake, my nemesis. Oh no! I'm also actually not really a very big cake fan. There's something about it that just isn't to my tastes. Even when I do cook it correctly and it's all baked in the middle and not raw and oozing like a sore, I'll put it in nothing burgers. I don't think it needs to have the indignity of black. There are some exceptions. I don't really like a typical vanilla, white, yellow cake kind of dealy, and even a chocolate cake. Gotta have something special to be a cake that I enjoy. Okay, next we have the takeout options from the Boar's Head in Curse of Blackmore Manor. First up is Pinky and Perky, aka turkey. It would be tossed cookies if it had been sitting in Nancy's pocket for multiple days, but I think we have to take it at its face value and say it's, freshly delivered, hot off the presses, pinky and perky. I am quite a fan of turkey. It's part of the reason why Christmas is my favorite holiday. I'm a gobbler, you might say. This is a girl detective dinner. Okay, next up, loop-de-loop, otherwise known as soup. This might be the most controversial thing I've ever said, but I don't really like soup that much. But the soup in this game doesn't even look that good. It gives me canned soup vibes. The whole plate just kind of looks like an airplane meal, minus the plastic wrap around absolutely everything. I guess it'll be a nothing burger. Next up, dog's eye, aka pie. Now, if you asked me if I wanted to eat a dog's eye, I would probably say no. But if you asked me if I wanted to eat a delicious meat pie, I would probably say yes. It's a girl detective dinner. It's a comfort food. It's hearty and wholesome and warm. And lastly, we have bangers and mash, sausages and mashed potatoes. This plate isn't authentic, speaking as someone with British citizenship who lived in the UK for a year and whose parents are both from the UK themselves. The peas aren't mushy. That's how you can tell. The peas are completely unmushed on this plate. I gotta speak to you candidly. I'm not a big fan of sausages, or mashed potatoes, or in fact, peas. Black. Black, black, black. I feel like I sound kind of like a vampire, like I'm the Count from Sesame Street. Black, 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 black. Okay, the next items, is the pies from Secret of the Old Clock. Is it just me, or do these pies look a little funded up? Is this supposed to be environmental storytelling, do we think, to convey that Jane doesn't really know how to bake? But let's look at them individually. First up, we have the blueberry pie. Now, we already know my feelings on cooked blueberries, so this decision is easy as pie. Tossed cookies. Now, the chocolate pie. Normally, I would love a chocolate pie. I love chocolate. But the topping looks congealed. It doesn't look completely appetizing, so it's a bleck. And lastly, the cherry pie. Probably the best looking out of the bunch, to me, personally. That's a damn fine cherry pie, worthy of girl detective dinner, I say. But I think the close-up at the end of the game is what really sells it to me. Beautiful lattice work. Now we have the burgers from Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon, another one of the Nancy Drew foods which I've eaten in real life. At least the Hayashi burger is. But I do enjoy a good burger. Emphasis on good. First up, we have the volcano burger, which, reminder, is onions, jalapenos, hot mustard, bacon, and cheese. You could say this burger is fire, that it's lit, that it's really hot. Anyway, I'd eat it. Girl detective dinner. Next up is the classic burger. Lettuce, tomato, pickles, mayo, ketchup. This burger's all well and good, but I'm judging the lack of cheese. Joe Hardy would not approve. It's kind of more of a nothing burger, honestly. This burger has nothing that makes it stand out from all the other burgers in the world, albeit in a good way or a bad way. You will see what I mean by that very soon. Next up is the one I've eaten, the Hayashi burger. Avocado, tomato, fruit jelly, pineapple, cheese, and mayo. These are presented in the order that they are also presented in the game, by the way. I love how they hit you with like the most normal burger, then bam, immediately follow it up with this freak burger for freaks. Whoever decided they needed to put fruit jelly on this burger should go to jail for food-related crimes. The expression is goes together like peanut butter and jelly, not goes together like hot meat and jelly. Black. And lastly, it is the colossal burger. Tomato, ketchup, mustard, onion, jalapeno peppers, jelly, hot mustard, mayo, bacon, lettuce, cheese, and avocado. Please stop putting fruit jelly on these burgers, I'm begging. This is like the Tower of Babel in burger form. They've burgered too close to the sun. Which I know is from a different myth entirely. Please don't be pedantic in the comments. I just thought it was a funny turn of phrase, burgered too close to the sun. Is that a crime? Anyway, it's low-key an affront to God. You know when something is low-key an affront to God? But I'd still eat it. minus the fruit jelly. Because of the lack of pineapples on this one, it can be elevated into nothing burgers. And because of all the other toppings on there, hopefully you wouldn't taste the fruit jelly as much as with the Hayashi burger. I love that the one burger that I actually ate in real life is my lowest ranked. Do I hate myself? Or maybe it's just because if I actually were to eat all the other ones in real life, they'd also be black to me. Next up, the parfaits from Danger by Design. I've ranked them as one conglomerate because honestly, I don't think all the different varieties are that different from each other to warrant multiple different places in this tier list. This is over 100 foods to rank, by the way. So please forgive me if I'm not ranking every single parfait from Danger by Design. I will say, I'm not eating any of the ones that look like they have fucking frog's eggs in them. I draw the line at frog's eggs. I know they're actually tapioca balls. Same difference, really. Who actually likes tapioca balls? Anyway, overall, they're girl detective dinner, despite some of them having tapioca ball frog's eggs in them. Okay, now we travel to Cafe Kiki to test the entire menu, starting with croque monsieur, croque monsieur. This is like the one French word that I literally just cannot pronounce. The one French word. One of the many French words that I just can't pronounce. It's not gonna happen. Croque monsieur. Monsieur. It just sounds wrong. Well, no matter what I say, it sounds wrong. Anyway, first of all, I love that all the menu items in Danger by Design are just PNGs on a plate. I love that. But croque Mr. God forgive me. Actually, French people forgive me more like. I need to be more worried about them than God. This is another one of those foods that I just start craving whenever I replay this game. I think there's just foods that appear in some of the games that when I play that game, it's just like, bam, instant craving. And I have actually made this for myself multiple times. You can't go wrong with cheese and bread. It's last meal worthy, even though I can't pronounce it to save my gosh darn life. Probably why I'm on death row. Was the dots connected there? Do you see what I'm trying to do there? Yeah. Anyway, frog legs from Danger by Design. Speaking of frogs, edible frog things, frog parts, I'd try them. I know I just drew the line at tapioca balls, but I'd try frog's legs. Girl detective dinner. Now we have the ice cream from Danger by Design. What kind of psychopath serves ice cream on a plate, I ask you? And to be honest, I'm not convinced the mint and any of the other garnishes are adding anything. And it looks like it's already half melted, like they let it sit in the kitchen for about 5 minutes before bringing it out. If it was just vanilla ice cream, it would be nothing burger to me. Because I guess vanilla is the very definition of nothing, of bland and flavorless. Although vanilla is a flavor, but you know what I mean. But there's also a scoop of chocolate there. So luckily, it's been elevated to girl detective dinner status. Okay, now we have cassoulet from Danger by Design. I had never actually ordered this in the game, and then I looked up the picture and I was like, oh, this is a plate of slop. You were trying to feed me a plate of slop. Is this the fine French cuisine they talk about? Sorry to the French if I'm insulting your culture, although I'm sure my French pronunciation is more insulting to your culture. It literally looks from this picture like it's a plate of like baked beans and hot dogs. Like, you know when people make baked beans and hot dogs, or like put like hot dogs in with spaghetti or macaroni cheese or some fun up nonsense like that? That's what it's giving you. It's when people just cut up hot dogs and throw them into whatever. Usually for a poor innocent child to eat. They do that to children. It's blick. You know what? At the end of the day, I'd probably try it, but it just does not look appetizing to me. Now we have steak haché et pomme frites, aka hamburger and french fries. This is one of the most white person meals ever. It's just like a lump of meat and then some unseasoned fries on a plate. This is something from the kiddie menu with the minimum amount of flavors so as to be as inoffensive as possible. It is literally a nothing burger. But I guess I should be glad there's no fruit jelly on there. Now we have the last Cafe Kiki menu item, the quenelle. I love any food that is like a little parcel. All the best things in life come gift wrapped. Although, those green things, are they beans? Like green beans? Or are they asparagus? Because that would change my opinion slightly. I don't like green beans, but I do like asparagus. I'll cautiously put them in Girl Detective dinner. If they're asparagus, it would be last meal worthy. If they're green beans, I'll keep them in Girl Detective dinner. But I gotta be cautious about these things. I don't want to be surprised at my last meal on my last day on Earth with a green bean. Evil. That would be evil. An act of pure evil to be served a green bean as my last meal. Now the most famous Danger by Design food item, J.J. Ling's mint chocolate chip cookies, which curl up at the edges. Apparently these are impossible to make in real life, at least so that the edges turn up. I haven't yet tried it, but I would love to try these physically impossible cookies. These freak of nature cookies. And chocolate mint is a classic flavor combination. It's Girl Detective dinner. Next up, Shave Ice from Creature of Capu Cave. Shave Ice is a scam. I said it. You're just eating ice. I don't get the hype. It's a nothing burger. Wait, why did I put this in nothing burger? The colossal burger. It should be in Girl Detective dinner, because it's not giving you nothing. It's giving you a lot. It's giving you a lot. The very opposite of nothing. So therefore it should not be in nothing burgers, by definition. I guess I'll put it in Girl Detective dinner, even though I'm unsure about the fruit jelly. I've had bad experiences with the fruit jelly in the past. But anyway, correction there. To past Chloe. She made some mistakes. Take it easy on her. She wasn't always perfect. Okay, now, White Wolf of Icicle Creek breakfast at the Icicle Creek Lodge. The meals in White Wolf of Icicle Creek are so customizable that I can't imagine a world where someone wouldn't want to eat them. For breakfast, I'm taking 2 slices of French toast with Canadian bacon, please. Girl Detective dinner. Is it Girl Detective dinner? Or is it last meal? I do really like French toast. But I only really like French toast if you don't add in the sugar, which is odd, because usually I have such a sweet tooth and I'm like, more sugar, give me more sugar. But I guess I grew up eating French toast without any sugar, and so that's now my preference. I don't know about this French toast, if it's the sweet kind or the unsweet kind. And I gotta be honest, I'm Canadian, and I've never eaten Canadian bacon in my life. I've never even been presented with the opportunity to eat Canadian bacon that I can recall. But I assume it's like somewhere between actual bacon and ham. That's kind of what it looks like, and I like both those things. Now we have lunch at Icicle Creek Lodge. Now, I'm not a big salad person. I'm a small salad person. Anyway, you know that salmon is gonna be like the best salmon of your life. It was probably fished out of the lake that very morning by Bill Kessler, or more likely the undercover unpaid teenage detective on staff. Either way, it's gonna be freaking good. Girl Detective dinner. Icicle Creek Lodge dinner. Burgers, mainly. It's nice to see a sensible kitchen with no utterly deranged burger fixins. I'll take everything except onions and lettuce, which is not to say that I wouldn't eat onions and lettuce on a burger if I got served it in a normal situation. What? Like I'm being served burgers in an abnormal situation? Anyway, you know what I'm saying. If I ordered a burger and it came with lettuce and onions, I wouldn't say no lettuce and onions. I'd eat the lettuce and onions. Just sometimes I prefer without lettuce and onions, you know? If I'm making the preference, if it's a make your own burger, I'm foregoing the lettuce and onions. Okay, next up, Legend of the Crystal Skull. Granny Cajun's what? No. Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cooking Food Truck. You know the dishes from Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cooking Food Truck are either going to be some of the best meals of your life, or put you in intense gastrointestinal stress for 48 hours. But if they've been operating since 1957, that's probably a good sign. They have not yet been closed by the health department. This gumbo does look good. It's got lots of bits. I love food with lots of bits. That's a girl detective dinner. Fueling my girl detective work. Next up, the jambalaya. Authentic New Orleans jambalaya on the bayou. Mio Mayo? Yes, please. Although maybe not really authentic if it's Shorty from Secret of Shadow Ranch cooking it. But it still looks good. Girl detective dinner. I kind of feel like I need a tier in between girl detective dinner and nothing burgers. But that's another mistake that past Chloe made. There's simply nothing we can do about it now. We're locked in. We're locked into these tiers. Finally, from Granny Pumpkin's Cajun Cookin', the crawfish. I've never had crawfish before, but I'd try them. Even if visually in this game they don't look very appealing. I don't like seeing all their little feet. Also, have you noticed that Bess eats them whole? Shells and all? I have to admit I'm a little disturbed by that. I'll put it in girl detective dinner. Speaking of a little disturbed, Colin from Phantom of Venice. His sausages, his sausage basket, his rotten sausage basket. This is the easiest decision. It is tossed cookies. Literally what happens to Nancy. Colin, you can stuff your rotten sausages right up your... Next, more appealingly, gelato from Phantom of Venice. It's actually a law that when you're on vacation in Europe, you must eat gelato at least once a day. I've had many great European vacations obeying that law. It is a girl detective dinner, and if we're being specific, it's chocolate gelato for me, maybe with an extra scoop of coconut if I'm feeling bold. The Waverly Academy snack shop meal. Iconic, iconic, iconic! Every time I play Waverly Academy, it's a requirement that I have bagels and chocolate chip cookie dough on hand. And I have to say that bagels in the Nancy Drew series have had a serious glow up since Stay Tuned for Danger, because the snack shop bagels look like the most appealing food in the world. Like it's some kind of cursed fairy food tempting me to partake, and I am helpless to resist, therefore dooming myself to the Fey realm forevermore. Last meal. I have also made various snack shop meals in real life. In fact, I let Waverly Academy Snack Shop decide my meals for an entire day once. It was incredibly filling. Next, we have the bento boxes from Shadow at the Water's Edge. Who doesn't love their food in cute little animal shapes? It does make them more difficult to eat, though, I have to admit. I always shed a tear when eating a marzipan pig or chocolate bunny. Girl detective dinner. Next, we have the foods from The Captive Curse, starting with the pretzel. Now, I love a soft pretzel. One of my must-dos when I was in Germany last year was getting a soft pretzel, and I did, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Scrumptious. Am I right, fellas? Girl detective dinner. Next up, also from The Captive Curse, the Black Forest cake. So good it knocks you out, apparently. I got a slice of this on that same trip when I ate a pretzel in Germany, although I was in Prague at the time, but it was exceptional. I do love a Black Forest cake. You know, earlier when I was saying I'm not a huge cake fan, they've got to have a little oomph, a little pizzazz, a little something extra, and Black Forest cake does that. It has got the oomph, it has got the pizzazz, it has got the something extra. This is what an angel food cake should be. Truly food for the angels. Like actual angel food cake is a nothing burger to me. It's dry and boring and, yeah, bad. And I don't like it. But this is angelic, heavenly food. This decision is a piece of cake. Yes, I will have my cake and eat it too. Don't mind if I do. I'll be having it at my last meal, and maybe in heaven as well, after I pass on. after, you know, getting executed, I suppose. Why did I decide this is my top tier? It feels very morbid now, thinking about it. I also love how I assume that I'm getting into heaven. But you know what? If the only cake they have in heaven is angel food cake, I don't want to be there. It's not heaven to me. Anyway, enough theology. Bratwurst. I'm not so sure about 2 cold sausages on a plate. And you've got to wonder exactly how long they've been in that whimsical chalet-shaped vending machine. Probably long enough for Colin from Phantom of Venice to include them in his little gift basket. Sorry, it's tossed cookies. Doesn't feel very food safe to me. Lastly, from the Captive Curse, apple strudel. I'm not a big fan of apple-based desserts, personally. Apple pie is probably my least favorite type of pie after blueberry. Apple strudel is black. Why do I feel like this is gonna be my most controversial tier list yet? Next, we have every single ice cream from Scoop in Alibi and Ashes, so I'm gonna try to do them rapid fire. Let me bring up the picture of the menu. There are fireworks going off. Is it Anvil Day? It's November the 9th. What's special about November the 9th? I can see them! Can't believe this. By the time I got there, they were already over. They went on for like 30 seconds. What was the point? Okay, back to the ice cream. First up, chocolate shake. God tier, my favorite type of shake. I love a chocolate shake. I'd probably order it over a regular bowl of chocolate ice cream. Vanilla shake. Nothing burger. We've discussed this before. Vanilla is the nothing burger flavor. Chocolate malt shake. I think I've only had malt once or twice, like a malted ice cream once or twice, and it was decent, but not as good as a classic chocolate shake, so it's a Girl Detective dinner. All-American apple pie, everything but the crust shake. You know, I just was saying I don't like apple-based desserts, but this sounds fun. Fun and funky. Girl Detective dinner. Coffee candy. Coffee-flavored ice cream with coffee candy pieces with a K. I don't like coffee, but I did have some amazing coffee ice cream recently that made me change my mind about coffee as a flavor in general. So, Girl Detective dinner. It was such good ice cream, it literally changed my life and my worldview. Can you believe? Chocolate-covered cherry shake. Chocolate ice cream with cherries. That sounds good. Girl Detective dinner. Strawberry breeze. Strawberry ice cream with strawberries. Now, I hate to say it, it's also a nothing burger flavor to me. I'm not a big fruit-flavored dessert person. Peanut butter chunk shake. Vanilla ice cream with chocolate-covered peanut butter chunks. I am a peanut butter person, though. Girl Detective dinner. And that's the last of the shakes. Now we move on to the ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Nothing burger. Chocolate ice cream. Girl Detective dinner. Like I said, chocolate shake better to me than regular bowl of chocolate ice cream. Strawberry ice cream. Nothing burger. Minty Madness. Mint chip ice cream. Girl Detective dinner. Peachy Keen. Peach flavored ice cream with peach slices. Now, I have said that I'm not a big fruit-based dessert person, but it would feel like a disservice to say that this is a nothing burger, because peach is a, well, let's just say less common ice cream flavor than strawberry. So it'd feel mean to be like, this is a nothing flavor. It's so boring. So I'll put it in Girl Detective dinner to be generous, because I'm a generous person. Cookie dough. Vanilla with cookie dough chunks. I do like cookie dough ice cream. The cookie dough bits in this don't look very big, though. Have you noticed that? Especially, like, I feel like every year that goes by, shrinkflation hits the cookie dough ice cream business harder and harder, and you get, like, basically just like a crumb of cookie dough in there, and it's disgraceful. The only companies who'd put more than a crumb in are, like, the specialty fancy ones, like Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs that are more expensive, but I guess you get what you pay for. If you pay big bucks for ice cream, you get big chunks of cookie dough. Cowabubble. Vanilla ice cream with Cowabubble bubble gum pieces. That sounds horrid. Should you even be swallowing bubble gum? That sounds bad. That sounds black, to be quite honest. Choco Train, I think it's called. Triple chocolate chunk ice cream. That sounds hella good. Acorn Harvest. Chocolate ice cream with a caramel swirl and Auntie's acorns pieces. Girl Detective dinner. I like caramel, but I don't go bonkers for it. You know the phrase, we all scream for ice cream? Some of these flavors would have me screaming, derogatory, and Moon Chunk is one of them. Cheese-flavored ice cream with asteroid chunks. Speaking of things that are low-key an affront to God, Moonchunk ice cream. But would it be like a cheesecake? Would it be like some little sweet and salty action? I'll try it. I'm a pretty open person to most things other than tapioca balls and cooked blueberries and poison. Cappuccino cream, coffee-flavored ice cream. Girl detective dinner. I feel like it says something about me that I put the literal cheese fucking flavored ice cream above the vanilla ice cream. Oh, Bacon Blast, which is another fun and funky flavor. Bacon-flavored ice cream with maple swirl and Farmer Hammy's bacon bits. Who the fudge is Farmer Hammy? You know, this also sounds abhorrent. But again, I'd try it. The sweet and salty, like people have proven that bacon somehow works with sweet things. Okay, lastly, we have the ice cream sodas. Vanilla ice cream flavored syrup or soft drink carbonated water. I think the first one is just vanilla, which we already know it's a nothing burger. Cheery cherry. Now, the other cherry flavored item was a chocolate cherry, and that's better to me than just regular cherry, because I feel like regular cherry can taste a little bit like medicine. Is that a nothing burger or is that a black? I feel harsh saying it's a black, but it's like that category that should be between Girl Detective Dinner and nothing burgers. I feel like this always happens to me. I'm like, wow, I wish I had more tiers. Who the freak decided that I have this many tiers only? Who did that? Because I would also put the peach in that category. And the bacon and the cheese, you know, but here we are. You know what I said? I put it in black. I said it reminded me of medicine. That's not a good thing. Berry Blast? No. Also reminds me of medicine. Maybe that's why I don't like fruit-flavored desserts. They remind me of medicine. Apparently I was eating all sorts of fruity-flavored medicines as a child. Okay, now I have some ones that I gotta look up. Brown cow, white cow, and black cow. Brown cow ice cream. It's a creamy dessert cocktail with Kahlua and milk? They are serving alcoholic cocktails to teenagers at Scoop in River Heights? No. Oh, root beer float with vanilla ice cream. I don't like root beer. Black. Honestly, if it was Kahlua and cream, Girl Detective Dinner. That sounds better to me than root beer. Okay, then there's black cow and white cow. Wait, it's saying the black cow, a root beer float? Oh, wait, I found the Wikipedia page with multiple sodas on it, ice cream sodas on it. Hold on. Because how can they both be a root beer float? No, root beer float, also known as a black cow or brown cow? Now I'm confused. So maybe the brown cow is the alcoholic drink. I'm gonna say it is. I can't believe Tony's out here getting teenagers funded up on brown cows at the ice cream parlor on a Tuesday afternoon. So brown cow, root beer float, black. It probably is not that, but this hasn't given me a good idea as to what it could be. What's a white cow then? Who knew this would be so contentious and requires so much research? Like, I'm going to multiple pages. I'm on freaking Wikipedia. Now, hold on. They're saying a white cow is just a milkshake, a vanilla milkshake. So she just has 2 vanilla milkshakes on her menu? Oh, that confuses me. Nothing burger. Maybe Her Interactive intended these drinks to be different things than what they are, but I don't know. Oh, they did say they were with flavored syrup or soft drink carbonated water. Who knows what the soft drink is, though? Or flavored syrup. It's a mystery. Not even Nancy can solve it. Next, the drinks from the Screaming Banshee Inn in The Haunting of Castle Malloy. Yeah, I'm a fruity drink person. I'm a fruity person. I know I just said I don't really like fruit-based desserts, but I like fruit-based drinks. I'm not gonna rank all of these individually, but I would probably try most of them. Not the, like, beer-coated ones, probably. I'm not a big beer fan, but the others. Now we have tea from Ghost of Thornton Hall. Now, tea is my cup of tea. I say having just drank a mug earlier in this video. Polished it off earlier this video. A cup of tea would hit the spot after being menaced by a ghost, though. You know what they say, a spoonful of sugar makes the ghost go away. And that's the reason I'm piling 10 scoops of sugar into my tea. Not because I have a debilitating sweet tooth. I'm not ready to admit it's a problem yet. But points removed for no milk or cream. So, Girl Detective Dinner. Now we have all the Scottish snacks from The Silent Spy, which I will also do rapid fire while looking up a few of them on Wikipedia. Okay, first up is buttery. My cat face first in his blanket and snoring. What a guy. Buttery is a savory bread roll, also known as a rowie, which sounds like some lewd slang for a sexual act. But okay. Girl detective dinner for a savory bread roll. Colcannon, a traditional Irish dish of mashed potatoes with cabbage. Now this is a tough one. Yeah, I'd try. Girl detective dinner. I'm not gonna turn my nose up at something I haven't even tried. Black bun. I feel like Wikipedia is so useful now that Google has become almost unusable because of AI. I love you, Wikipedia. Black bun is a type of fruit cake, completely covered with pastry. Well, I don't really like fruit cake. Black. Dundee cake. Oh, it's another type of freaking fruit cake, a traditional Scottish fruit cake. Black. Haggis, I've actually tried, I had haggis-like croquettes. Guys, they were really freaking good. Girl detective dinner. I know it's not true haggis to just have haggis croquettes, but I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. Cranachan is next. Cranachan. Apologies to all Scots as well. It's a traditional Scottish dessert. Dessert of cream and fresh seasonal raspberries bolstered by Scottish oats and whiskey. That sounds quite nice. Yeah, girl detective dinner. I feel like I'm so inconsistent. I'm like, I don't like fruit-based desserts. And I'm like, ooh, raspberries and oats and cream. Yum. But what can I say? Human beings aren't consistent. That's just life. That's how you know you're human. Oh, the jammy sandwiches? Yeah, those are good. Although I will say they're beautiful, they're stunning, and I love a little jam-flavored cookie, like a jammy Dodger. But they kind of look like the type of cookies that just taste like sugar. You know what I mean? They just taste sweet. Kippers, which are like fish. Nothing burger. You gotta put a little bit more, a little something to go with the kippers, you know? I'm not gonna eat a straight fish. That's weird. That's like something Gollum would do. Neeps and tatties, which I already know are parsnips and potatoes. Yeah, parsnips and potatoes. I like them at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Scotch pie. And I feel like I should know what's in a Scotch pie, but I'll look it up. I think it's like a meat pie. A double crust meat pie. It's a dog's eye. Girl detective dinner. Smokies. Oh, it's smoked fish. Okay, again, you gotta give me more than just like a fish, a little piece of fish. Although I will say, I do like those like candied salmons. But this is not candied salmon, this is smoked fish, which is different. Stovies. I don't believe that the average person in Scotland is going out and buying freaking stovies and neats and tatties and buttery every day. I don't believe that. Stove potatoes. They're more potatoes. Dish containing potatoes, fat, usually onions, and often pieces of meat. Sure, girl detective dinner. Tablet, I think is shortbread, but let me double check. Oh no, it's not. A medium hard, sugary confection from Scotland, made from sugar, condensed milk, and butter, which is boiled to a soft ball stage and allowed to crystallize. What the heck is a soft ball stage? The final texture of candy depends on the sugar concentration, something boiling point, something colligative property. Okay, this is too technical for me. Sweet candy, girl detective dinner. Wikipedia is now like recommending me when I go to search other strange and specific Scottish confections that don't even exist in the game, like hatted kit and clapshot. Okay, we're moving on to Midnight in Salem's Johnny Cakes. Can we talk about something for a moment? These are literally just pancakes, right? There's no Johnny about them. Who even is Johnny? Girl detective dinner. Another rapid fire, courtesy of the Midnight in Salem pastry case in Lauren's shop. Luminous Infusions, I believe it is called. Angel Biscuits. I hope they're not anything like Angel Food Cake, but they sound good. But so does Angel Food Cake. These are Spritz biscuits with almond. I feel like that requires research. It's a German thing. Oh, I have eaten these. Spritzgebäck. Apologies now to every single German watching this video. Yeah, those are good. Those do not look like how they do in real life, though. That's interesting. Girl dinner. Girl detective dinner, even. Sorry for, like, the last chunk of this video where it's just me staring at my phone. But I need the important context. I need to know what I'm agreeing to eat here. cruller filled with chocolate. How freaking good does that sound? Is that top tier? I don't know. I gotta make sure I have room to eat all these things at my last meal. I can't put everything in there. I don't want to fill up before I finish eating my last meal. Speaking of last meal, chocolate eclair? Dang. Last meal. But only if they've got, like, proper cream inside. Sometimes they make them with, like, freaking pudding inside. That is not a chocolate eclair. That is not what I signed up for. Honeycomb? She's just got, like, a whole sheet of honeycomb laid out in her shop in her pastry case. Looks like she just robbed a beehive. I feel like that's kind of a weird thing to just sell, like a sheet of honeycomb. But, yeah, girl detective dinner. Sure. Macaroons? Yeah, girl detective dinner. Although I prefer macarons. Pizza bread? Yeah, yum. Girl detective dinner. Although it's not my favorite thing in the world. Again, if I had added another tier for nuance, I wouldn't be having this problem. Chocolate flake mini tart. Mini tart? Girl, that is not mini. That is the opposite of mini. That is maxi. But, oh man, it looks good. Man, it looks so good. Oh my god, that looks delectable. That looks devious. That looks naughty. It's going in last meal. Sourdough bread. I'm gonna say something controversial and yet so brave. I don't like sourdough bread. Blech. Strawberry tartlet? Girl dinner. Girl detective dinner. I keep forgetting the name of my actual tier. Millefeuille? French. Millefeuille? Yeah, something like that. It's girl detective dinner. Tiramisu cake? Yum. Girl detective dinner. Tutti Frutti cookies. They look like they got those little candied fruit like you get on fruitcakes. And I don't like that. Blech. Lastly, all the coffees from Mr. the Seven Keys. I have put them in an all-in-one item because I don't drink coffee. Instead, I will be sitting at one of the tables enjoying a low-poly croissant. So this is a nothing burger for me. Because I don't think coffee's necessarily bad, I just... Well, and that's my list. Looks like for my last meal, I'll be eating a fundae, croque monsieur, Mr. Croque, a snack shop meal, Black Forest cake, a chocolate milkshake, a chocolate eclair, and a chocolate flake mini tart. I'm sensing a theme. The theme is I like chocolate. Which food from the Nancy Drew games would you most like to try? I don't know why I said that while pointing an accusing finger. Which food from the Nancy Drew games would you most like to try? That's less aggressive, isn't it? Have you made any of these yourself? And are there any that you'd really like to see me make for a future video? Let me know.